to you. But we'll work through some back bends, have a little bit of time to play around with candy cane or sugar cane pose, and kind of go from there. So if you have 2 blocks with you, that's great. If you don't, if you have like a soft pillow that you can kind of put underneath your back, that's also wonderful. We're going to start in supported fish pose, but if you don't have either of those, we'll just start in Supta Baddha Konasana on your back. So either 2 blocks, and I'll show you how to set those up in just a minute here, or a pillow, just like like one of the pillows on my couch, just to kind of put underneath your shoulders to lift your heart up a little bit more, and then rest your head on the ground. So I'm gonna take you guys there. So come to your mats. If you have 2 blocks, you'll place 1 block vertical underneath your spine on a low or high height, depending on how high you want your heart lifted. And the other one you can place perpendicular to that block, and then just kind of have it a little bit higher. If you don't have blocks, you can take a rolled up blanket or a pillow and just kind of come onto your bottom here and rest your shoulder blades on that pillow, just so there's a little bit of lift in your chest here. Whatever feels comfortable for you. And then you can let your legs fall off to the side, or you can bring them in Supta Baddha Konasana position where the soles of your feet touch and then your knees open. Oops, I want to set up my blocks. So once you're there in that position, you're just going to close down your eyes. You can let your arms fall off to the side. Maybe you place 1 hand on your heart, 1 hand on your belly. And just take a few moments to settle into this space. Become aware of your breath. Take notice to any thoughts that are wandering around in your mind, and then just slowly allow those thoughts to drift off your mat. We're almost 2 months into this new norm of ours, so many of us have found some routine in our days. But still, some thoughts of the unknown or insecurities of our jobs or school or what's to come might continue to arise throughout your mind. There's no need to worry about the future. Just focus in on this present moment here and now. This is the only time that we are provided to ourselves, the only time that we know that we still have. So fully devoting and dedicating this time and space to you. And then as you start to settle in, maybe start to take a little bit more control of your breath. Take a deep cleansing inhale here through your nose. Fill up through your belly. Allow your ribcage to expand. Chest rise high. And then slow open mouth. Exhale, sigh it all out. Another deep long inhale, just like that. Breathe in through your nose. Fill up. And then a cleansing, open mouth, exhale, sigh it all out. Let it go. 2 more just like that. Breath in, fill up. Big inhale, spread it throughout your body. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it all out. Let everything go. 1 more time. Breath in through your nose. Fill up with that sunshine from outside. Spread it from your fingertips to your toes. And a cleansing open mouth exhale. Sigh it all out. Spread that sunshine throughout your mat and your home. Let it stay here with you. And then on your next inhale, you're going to close your lips this time. And then exhale out through your nose. Tap into your Ujjayi breath. This is our breath of victory. It allows us to build a little bit of heat and discipline within our practice. And then on your next inhale, start to slowly extend your legs out long in front of you. Maybe extend your arms up overhead. And then slowly roll off your pillow or your blocks onto your side, right or left side, whatever is comfortable for you. And then slowly press yourself up into a seat. You can remove your blocks off to the side and then come into tabletop pose. So you're gonna stack your shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. Inhale for cow pose, belly down, gaze up, press your mat away from you. Exhale, cat pose, round out through your upper back, tuck your chin into your chest, gaze between your legs. Inhale, cow pose, thread your heart forward, press the earth away. Exhale, cat pose, round and stretch through your upper back. Take a few more cat and cows here on your own. Maybe circle out through your hips, whatever's speaking and calling to you this evening. Just start to wake up your spine, forwards and backwards, side to side. One more breath. And then come back to a neutral spine tabletop pose. On your next inhale, extend your right fingertips out in front of you, palm faces towards the center, thumb up, pinky down. And then exhale, extend your left leg to the back of your mat. Option to keep your toes fleshed on your mat for more support. But if you want to engage and activate your core, lift your heel high in line with your left hip bone. Hug your belly up and in. Take a nice breath in here. Lengthen out from your fingertips to your toes. And then exhale for tiger's pose. Bend into your left knee. Wrap your right arm around to kick your left hand in, your left foot into your right hand. Nice quad stretch. Feel the stretch through your left hip flexor here. Press your foot into your hand for a deeper stretch. Send your gaze up and out, heart forward. Breath in. Exhale, slowly release back down, tabletop pose. Inhale, extend your left fingertips out long in front of you. Exhale, kick your right heel to the back of your mat. Final balance here. Activate your core, flex through your toes, breath in to lengthen. Exhale, tiger pose. Bend into your right knee and wrap your left hand around to catch your foot. Press your right arm into your mat. Lift up and out. Gazes forward. Nice stretch through your right hip flexor. Breath in. Exhale, slowly release back down, tabletop pose. And then inhale, tuck your toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. And take a few breaths here to settle into this space. You can bend into one knee and then the other. Walk your dog for a nice calf stretch. Spread your fingertips out wide and shift more weight into the padding of your fingers rather than your wrists here. Let your head hang heavy. Inhale, gaze forward between your thumbs. Exhale, slowly tiptoe up to the top of your mat. Ragdoll pose, bend into your knees. Let your torso melt over your thighs. And then we're gonna add a shoulder stretch here. So interlace your hands behind your low back and then slowly lift them away for a nice stretch through your shoulders. Continue to let your head hang heavy here, shaking it yes to all the possibilities of your practice today, and shaking it no to let go of any negative thoughts. One more breath in here. Exhale, slowly release your fingertips down to your mat. Heel toe your feet to touch, so your big toes touch, slight sliver in your heels, micro bend in your knees. Inhale, slowly rise, one vertebrae at a time. Reach the crown of your head to the ceiling. Breath in, arms up overhead. Breath out, Samasthiti. Hands come to heart center. Gently blink your eyes shut here or send them down to your fingertips. I offer you this space and opportunity to set your intention for class, reminding yourself what brought you here to your mat today. If nothing comes to mind, I invite you in setting an intention, focusing in on that sunshine outside. How can you bring more sunshine here to your practice today, allowing the light to come in and shine through you? We'll seal our intentions with one communal breath. Take a deep inhale here through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Gently blink open your eyes, release your hands down to your hips, and we'll get started through our Sun A flow. Inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana. Sweep your hands up overhead. Root all four corners of your feet into your mat. You can keep your big toes to touch or feet hips with distance, whatever works for you. Rotate your pinkies in towards one another and then release your shoulder blades away from your ears. Reach the crown of your head tall, take a breath in, and then exhale, baby back bend, full post your arms, 90-degree bend in both elbows here. Heart threads forward, shines through to the sky. Inhale, mountain pose, hands overhead, reset. Exhale, forward fold, let everything go. Maybe bend and straighten into one or both knees here. We'll take a few flows just like that, one breath to one movement. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, rise. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. One more time, breath in, mountain pose. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Change here. Exhale, high plank pose. Plant your hands and step your feet to the back of your mat. Option always to drop to your knees here for support. We're going to come down onto a forearm plank. So drop your forearms down parallel with one another. And then take a few shifts forward and backward, strengthening out those shoulders here. Hug your belly up and in for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower your belly down, untuck your toes, Sphinx pose. So your forearms stay pressed firmly into your mat, and you're going to drag your elbows closer to your torso as you shine your heart forward. Nice stretch through the front line of your body. Take 2 more breaths here. Big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Breath in. Breath out. And then slowly walk your hands underneath your shoulders here for a baby cobra. Lift your chest up off your mat. Little to no weight in your hands here. Using the strength of your low back to lift up and out. Keep your gaze down in front of you. Take a big inhale. And then exhale, slowly lower down. Re-tuck your toes here. Press into the palms of your hands. Inhale, high plank. Press yourself back up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in here through your nose. Breath out through your mouth. Adding on, inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, low lunge. Plant your hands and step your right foot to the back of your mat. And then slowly shift your right hip forward. The left hip comes back so they're in line with one another. And then inhale, crescent moon. Drop to your right knee, untuck your toes, and then hands rise high overhead. Draw your left hip back. Shoot your right hip forward for a nice deep stretch through your front right hip flexor. Take a breath in here. Exhale, baby back bend. Goal post your arms. Inhale, crescent moon rise. Exhale, forward fold to the top of your mat. Step your right foot up to meet your left. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, low lunge on the left this time. Step your left foot back. Bump your right hip back in line with your left. And then inhale, crescent moon. Drop your knee, untuck toes, hands overhead, rise. And settle into this space. Feel a nice deep stretch through your left hip flexor this time. Press your right heel into your mat to activate your glute. Press your heel away from you. Take a breath in here. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, forward fold to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We're gonna flow that. Inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana, rise. Breath to movement. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge, right foot steps back. Inhale, crescent moon, rise. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, forward fold to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge, left foot this time. Inhale, crescent moon, rise. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, forward fold to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank pose. Step your feet to the back of your mat. Come on down to your forearm plank this time. Hold here for 4, 3, Sphinx pose in 2, and 1. Slowly lower your hips down, untuck your toes. Nice stretch through the front line of your body. We're gonna take a few forearm planks to Sphinx pose. However, we're gonna stay on the tops of our feet. So the tops of your feet are on your mat. Inhale, half forearm plank. Lift your hips up high. Press your forearms into your mat. Use your core strength to lift your hips in line with your shoulders. Hold here for 4, 3, Sphinx pose in 2, and 1. Slowly lower for 4, 3, 2. Lift back up in 1. Inhale. Lift your hips up high in line with your shoulders. Hold for 4, 3, 2. Lower in 1. Hold here for 4, 3. Last 1, 2. And 1. Inhale. Lift your hips up high. Nice strong work. Build that heat. Hold here for 4, 3, 2. And 1. Slowly lower all the way down onto your belly this time. Option to come to your left or right cheek here. Extend your arms out beside you. And just take a few breaths, sending your breath and energy to your low back. Release any tension there. Fill up that space. Breath in. Breath out, let it go. And then when you're ready, bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. And then press yourself back up to a high plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips go up and back. Take a big inhale here through your nose. Exhale, sigh it all out. Inhale, gaze between your hands. Exhale, step or float to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Rise and sit low into your hips here. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Fire up your glutes to sit 1 inch lower as you shift the weight into your heels. Option here to peel your toes up off your mat. Take a breath in here. Exhale, chair with airplane arms. Send your fingertips to the back of your mat. Now rotate your pinkies in, thumbs up towards the ceiling. Opening up through your heart space. Externally rotating your shoulders. Inhale, chair, sit 1 inch lower. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana, high to low plank, or option to just step back into a downward facing dog. Take a breath in here. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, three-legged dog on the right. Send your right heel up high to the ceiling. Flex through your toes, and then rotate your right hip down in line with your left. Breath in here. Exhale, knee to nose, round out your spine, tuck your chin into your chest, reverse that forward, that front line body. Fire up your core. Inhale, three-legged dog. Lift your right heel high. Exhale, low lunge, step it all the way through. So your right knee is directly over your right ankle here. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Arms up overhead. Like we did in our crescent moon, you're gonna draw that right hip back. Left hip shoots forward. Stack your left heel over the ball mount of your toes. Take a breath in here. Exhale, double lunge. Bend into your left knee, let it hover just about an inch up off your mat. Squeeze through your left glute, find strength here. Inhale, high crescent, rise back up. Exhale, warrior two, settle into this space. Bring opening through your hips here by peeling your right knee to the pinky side edge of your right toe and press your left heel firmly into your mat. Extend your arms out long in front of you. Gaze out over your right fingertips. Stay here for a breath. Big inhale. Exhale, settle in. One more breath in here. Exhale, extended side angle. Reach your right fingertips up towards the top of your mat. And then tick-tock your hands, 6 and 12. Left fingertips reach up high to the ceiling. Rather than sinking down to the ground, use your right side obliques to lift up and out. Elongate through your left side body from your heels all the way up through your fingertips. Option to add in a reach here for a little bit more stretch through your left side body. Left fingertips up and overhead. And then inhale, reverse triangle, straighten through your front knee here. Right fingertips up high towards the ceiling. Breath in. Exhale, chaturanga flow. Cartwheel your hands down. Option to take that chaturanga we did before, or just lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. We'll meet here, 2 breaths. Big inhale. Exhale, let it go. One more time, breath in. Breath out. On the left, inhale, three-legged dog. Lift your left heel high. Again, tilt your left hip down in line with your right. Flex through your left toes. Breath in. Exhale, knee to nose. Tap into that core strength, that core power. Knee to your nose. 1 inch closer. Breath in. And then inhale, three-legged dog. Lift your left heel high. Exhale, low lunge. Step it through. Now your left knee is stacked directly over your left ankle this time. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Squeeze through your right glute and then draw your right hip forward, left hip comes back. Arms extend up overhead, pinkies in, thumbs out, just like we did in our mountain pose here. Breath in. Exhale, double lunge, bend into your right knee, let it hover just 1 inch up off your mat. Find that glute strength here. Activate your right glute. Inhale, high crescent. Exhale, warrior 2. Find space here. And then press your right ankle down into your mat. Gaze up and over your left fingertips. Lift your arms in line with your shoulders. Breath in. Exhale to settle out. And then inhale, reach your fingertips as far forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Left arm down, right up overhead this time. Make that connection with your left arm and thigh. Press them against one another to open up through your chest. Gaze up and over your right fingertips. Inhale, reverse triangle. Straighten through your front knee. Gaze up and over your left fingertips this time. Nice side body stretch here through the left side. Breath in. Exhale, chaturanga flow. High to low plank. Or step back into your downward facing dog. 2 breaths before we flow. Reconnect with your intention. Remind yourself what brought you here to your mat today. How can you bring a little bit of sunshine to your mat this evening? Big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Adding on, inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Rise and sit low here. Exhale, drinking bird this time. Lift your heels up off your mat. Extend your fingertips to the back of the room. Option to interlace your hands behind your low back for a deeper, juicier stretch here. And then start to lift your hands away from your low back as you tilt your chest and align with your hips. Gaze is down in front of you. Hold here for 4. Lift your heels 1 inch higher. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release your heels down. Unlock your bind. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana, high to low plank, or step back into your downward facing dog. When you're ready on the right, inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge, step it through. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Exhale, double lunge. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, extended side angle and hold here. We're gonna play around with a half bind. So rotate your right thumb down and around, hands to your low back, or you can wrap it around to your right thigh. Gaze up and over your left shoulder. If you'd like to work a full bind, you may by interlacing your hands behind your right thigh. Continue to open up through your chest. So if you're like me, I'm not as open in my hips today and I'm kind of hunching over, I'm gonna keep my half bind today, gazing over my left shoulder to keep more opening through my chest. Breathe here into this space. Let that light shine, breath in, breath out, release your bind here. And then inhale, reverse triangle, left arm down, right arm up overhead. Exhale, chaturanga flow, high to low plank. Breath in, exhale, downward facing dog, left side. Inhale, 3-legged dog on the left. Exhale, low lunge, step it through. Inhale, high crescent. Exhale, double lunge here. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle and hold. Option to come in here into your half bind. Right arm down and around to your low back, or wrap it around your left thigh. If you'd like to take that full bind here, you can thread your left arm through, interlace your hands with one another, and keep your gaze forward. Stay in your half bind or full bind for one breath. Let it go. Inhale, reverse triangle. Straighten through that front knee here. Left arm up and over. Exhale, high to low plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Downward facing dog. Breath in here. Breath out through your mouth. Drop to your knees, child's pose. Toes touch, hips towards your heels. Rest your forehead down on your mat or a block. Fingertips extend to the top of your mat. And just pause here for a few breaths. One more breath, big inhale through your nose. Exhale, let it go. Slowly release your block from underneath your forehead if it's there, and then set yourself back up into your tabletop pose. And so once you're in your tabletop pose, we're gonna take a supported side plank. So kick your right leg out to a 90-degree angle, press your right arm into your mat, and then open up to the left. So your left arm reaches up and out, and then your left foot is planted into your mat. The left edge of your foot is planted into your mat. Lift up on the inner arch here. And then inhale, slowly rise, gate pose. Left arm down your left thigh, right arm up and overhead. Feel a nice stretch through your right side body. Continue to lift up and out through your left side oblique. And then rotate your chest and shoulders, so your chest forward, shoulders back. Gaze up and over your right hand. Take one more breath in here. And then exhale, come back to your supported side plank. Right arm down, left arm up overhead. We're gonna work into some glute strength here. So lift your left leg up off your mat. Flex through your left toes. Feel that strength in your left outer glute here. And then maybe add a few pulses for 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Come back down into your tabletop pose. Bring your right knee back in line with your left, and then send your left leg to a 90-degree angle. Plant your left arm, palm into your mat, and then open up to the right. Your right foot is planted into your mat. Right fingertips reach up and out towards the ceiling. Hold here for a breath. And then when you're ready, inhale, slowly rise, gate pose, right arm down, left arm comes up and over. Nice stretch through your left side body, left hip flexor. Continue to lift up and out through your right side oblique. One more inhale. And then exhale, come back to your supported side plank. And then lift your right leg up off your mat. Work into that right outer glute. Flex through your right toes. And then maybe add a few pulses on this side for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come back down into your tabletop pose. Tuck your toes under, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips go up and back. Working into our peak pose here. Inhale, three-legged dog on the right. Lift your right heel high. Exhale, low lunge. Step it all the way through. And then inhale, warrior 2, all the way open. Exhale, extended side angle, right arm down, left arm up. So this is where we're gonna play. I'll give you a few options. You can either stay here, working on your half or full bind. If you'd like to play around with some balancing challenge, you can come into a half moon pose. If you have blocks or anything that's as tall as a block around, maybe a book or a candle or a box or something, you can use that for some support, sending it about 6 to 8 inches in front of your right toes. And then you're gonna step your left foot about a half a foot forward, and then start to slowly shift the weight into your right foot. Lift your left leg in line with your left hip here. Use your block for support, and then start to slowly extend your arm up overhead. You can stay here, working on your balancing posture. If you want to take it to sugar cane or candy cane pose, this is where that glute strengthening came in and that hip flexor opening comes in. So you're going to start to bend your left knee. We need to find something for more support. If you're a little unsteady like I am today, bend your left knee and then reach your left arm back and around. Kick your left foot into your hand for a deeper stretch. You can gaze up and over. Keep your gaze down for support. Breathing space into your left side body here. Using your obliques to lift up and out. Or maybe a couch like me for support. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Wherever you are. 1 more. And then start to slowly release. Come back into your warrior 2. Nice, strong warrior. Inhale, star pose. Heels in, toes up. Take up so much space on your mat. Shine like the sun. Breath in. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Parallel your feet with one another. And then let your head hang heavy to your mat. You can reach for opposite elbows and sway from side to side. Let any stress and tension just fall down off your head, neck, and shoulders here. And then when you're ready, plant your palms back down. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, low lunge. Crawl your fingertips forward to the top of your mat. Step your right foot back in line with your left. You can take a chaturanga here or step back into your downward facing dog. We'll take that on the other side and then we'll slow things down. Take a big inhale, lift your left leg up high to the ceiling. Exhale, low lunge, step it between both hands. Inhale, warrior 2, spin all the way open. And then exhale, extended side angle. Come into it on the left side. I'm going to turn to face you for this. So once you're in your extended side angle, on the left this time, again, you can work on your half or full bind, just opening up through your heart space, your shoulders. Or if you want that balance challenge, send a book or a box or a block or something in front of you about 6 to 8 inches. Step your right foot about a half foot forward. Shift the weight into your left foot and start to slowly lift your right leg in line with your right hip. Playing around with your balance on this side. You can start to slowly lift your fingertips up off your block. Or if you'd like to move into sugar cane on this side, find that support that you need here. And then bend into your right knee. Send your right hand to reach for your right foot. And then kick your foot into your hand. Sugar cane or candy cane pose. Squeeze through your right glute to keep your knee lifted. Open up through your right hip flexor. 2 breaths on this side. One more. And slowly unwind, come back into your warrior 2. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Let it all go. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, low lunge, bend into your left knee. Step your left foot back to meet your right high plank. Option for chaturanga, or step back into your downward facing dog. Take a breath in here through your nose. Exhale, sigh it all out, let it go. Slowing things down, inhale, 3-legged dog on the right. Exhale, pigeon pose. Step your right knee to your right wrist and your ankle to your left. Send your gaze back so your left leg is aligned, your hip, your knee, and your ankle. You can take a block or a pillow and set it underneath your right glute if you need some support or lift here. You can stay here. Start to slowly fall into sleeping pigeon. Send your torso over your right thigh. Breathe and stretch out that right outer glute after all that hard work we did in sugar cane pose. Just start to slow down your breath here. Breathe space into anywhere you may be holding tension in your body, your right outer glute, your low back. Maybe it's your upper back and you need to release your shoulders. Let them melt into your mat. We'll hold here for a few more breaths. Last one. And then on your next inhale, slowly crawl back up onto your fingertips here. Retuck your left toes. And then inhale, 3-legged dog. Lift your right heel up and back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Half pigeon on the left. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, half pigeon. Knee to left wrist and ankle to your right wrist. Again, your right leg is straight back behind you. Hips are squared forwards. Keep your left toes flexed and then start to slowly melt over your left thigh. Maybe you have a comfy pillow underneath your chest here to keep your chest lifted, or a block underneath your forehead. And just slowly melt into your mat on this side. We tend to hold a lot of our tension in our hips and our shoulders. And so take notice in how your body, maybe your mind feels this evening after we've released so much tension in both of those areas in our bodies today. Can we make room for more love and joy and sunshine in our life? After we release and squeeze out that tension we've been bearing and holding inside of us. One more breath here on the side. And then start to slowly crawl your fingertips back up. Retuck your right toes. Inhale, three-legged dog on the left. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last down dog of the day. Big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Slowly come on down to your knees. Find a seat. We're going to reverse some of that back bending here as we kick our legs out in front of us. So your feet are in line with each other. Maybe you have a slight bend in your knees, or you can even place a block underneath your knees if you'd like to bring this a little bit more to your low back rather than your hamstrings. Take a breath in here, arms up overhead. Exhale, seated forward fold. Reach for your ankles, your shins, your thighs, whatever feels comfortable in your body, and then start to slowly lower your forehead down, nose to toes. Make space between your shoulder blades. Release that tension there. Breathe space into your low back. After all of the work and support it's done in our back bends, now that we've opened up the front line of our body, let's reverse that and open up the back side. Let all of that go. And then when you're ready, slowly start to unwind, rise back up, and then plant the soles of your feet onto your mat. Maybe shift your hips a little forward if you need space behind you, and then slowly lower down onto your back. Walk your feet closer to your glutes. Keep them hips width distance apart here. We'll take one more back bend of the day. Option for bridge pose or supported bridge pose. So if you have a block or a pillow and you want to take supported bridge, just slightly lift your hips and let them fall on your block or pillow. And just rest your low back down there. Or option to take full bridge pose. A little bit more work and effort here as you press into your feet, lift your hips up high. And then let your glutes just go. Release them and keep that strength in your heels as you lift, pressing the earth away from you. Chest to your chin, chin away from your chest, make space there. And then start to slowly lower your hips down. If you have a block or a pillow underneath them, you can release those here. And send your legs up the wall, flex through your toes. You can tee out your hands or keep one on your heart and your belly. If there is an open wall around you, you can come up against a wall here and allow your legs just to be fully supported by that wall. Allow the blood and lymphatic tissue to just start to drain back to your low back here. Slowing down our mind, slowing down our breath before our final Shavasana. And then when you're ready, hug your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Give yourself the biggest hug of the day. Maybe wrap your low back down from side to side. Massage it out here. And then take a big, big inhale. Forehead to knees. Tighten up into the smallest little ball filled with so much love and sunshine. Big inhale. Exhale, final Shavasana. Let all of it go. Burst open and allow that light just to fall and flow from your body, off your mat, into your home. Release the tension between your eyebrows. Allow your shoulders to melt into your mat. Let your tongue release to the top of your mouth. Surrender your hips into the earth. Allow your feet to turn open and just let gravity fall and take them down towards your mat. I encourage you to stay here in your Shavasana for as long as your evening allows. A minimum of 5 minutes if you have that time in your day. You can make that time in your day. Just stay here and ignore the rest of this class. But if you're ready, if that day is calling to you and you're ready to take your practice up off your mat, just start to slowly bring gentle movements into your body. Wiggle through your fingers and your toes. Reawaken your mind, your body. Come into a full body stretch. Arms overhead, point through your toes. And then roll over to your favorite side, fetal pose. Hug your knees into your chest. Use your bicep as a pillow. And take these final moments of stillness, these final minutes of dedication to you, your time, your energy. Just acknowledge what came up throughout class today. Thank yourself for dedicating this time to you. And then when you're ready, slowly press yourself up into an easy seated pose. Crisscross applesauce. Release your shoulders away from your ears, palms face up to receive energy or down for grounding. We'll close off our practice with one communal breath. Take a deep inhale here through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Bring your palms to touch, hands at heart center. Let that light shine through, heart forward, chest open. The light and love in me honors the light and love and sunshine in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thanks again for joining me this evening. It was so good to see so many familiar faces. I'm going to